Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 13 at Pimlico on Friday is the Grade 3 Allaire DuPont Distaff for fillies and mares going 1 1/8 and you can bet it with your own DRF Bets account. You'll also be able to bet the Preakness with free cash. A $100 deposit match bonus is waiting for you when you open up a DRF Bets account at drf.com/bet. Let's meet the fillies and mares getting set to go 1 1/8. Race number 13 on Black-Eyed Susan Friday. Verb's Tale and Blue Prize, the 6 and the 7 just met in the Top Flight Invitational. Blue Prize got the better of Verb's Tale. I thought Blue Prize ran the better race. Frost Rise, who was on the lead that day, I thought set a legitimate pace, was moving right along. Blue Prize had to reel that one in and still hold off Verb's Tale. Yeah. I liked Blue Prize's effort a lot more than Verb's Tale's.
Yeah, Verb's Tale maybe felt like she was a little bit flat in that race. These horses have run against each other more than once. I personally think when you go back through those races, it's not that easy to separate them. They met again, obviously, at Saratoga last summer. Verb's Tale came out narrowly best in that race over this exact same distance, 1 1/8. So I think these two horses are pretty hard to separate. Obviously, the morning line maker had a tough time separating them too. He made them the two favorites very close. Who knows how they'll bet it, Dan? I guess I would just take the one who's a better price.
Both horses really seem to appreciate the 1 1/8, but interestingly enough, both lack a winning profile. 7 second-place finishes for Verb's Tale, 6 second-place finishes for Blue Prize. Let's talk a little bit about the number 5, Song of Spring, going out for trainer Neil Howard. This horse came off a couple-month layoff in the Grade 3 Double Dog Dare. She got some pace to run at that day. She came with a run. She finished 3rd. It was a career best Beyer of 86. From a Beyer standpoint, she's trending in the right direction, but wasn't that Beyer last time kind of pace-aided?
It was. I mean, the race set up well for her, and even though she was, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but even though she was making up ground in the last 1/8 of a mile in there, it never really looked like she was going to get there. She wasn't a real threat to win that race, but it was a step in the right direction for her. I mean, she is a horse who's been, running against Valladorna in a lot of her recent races. Valladorna would be very tough for this field to beat, so there are things to like about this horse.
The Luch folks entered 2 in here, including the number 4, Catalust. Catalust, we have a formulator fact. It's a -1 for this barn. Blinkers on over the past 5 years with older dirt runners, 0 for 23. Catalust is also entered in a sprint race earlier in the where you would think from a distance standpoint she would fit better, but I have a feeling she runs here because she will ensure pace, as we see from the Timeform US Pace Projector. Now, the Pace Projector isn't going to project Catalust as a rabbit and gunned out there to the front, but I have a feeling that if Catalust runs in the Allaire DuPont Distaff, she's going to be used in that role, set a fast pace, help Furiously Kissed.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. If she does run here, it's for that reason, to ensure pace for her stablemate. The problem is that if she does that, she ensures pace for a lot of different horses in there. It doesn't just help her stablemate. It helps a lot of horses because there is just really not that much pace in this race, and it feels like almost all of the major contenders want to do their running late.
And if that pace projector is right and it favors horses on or near the early lead, well, Blue Prize and Verb's Tale are saying hallelujah, because we're stalking a horse that probably doesn't want to go this distance. We're probably the 2 best horses in the race. We might get the 2 best trips. Let's talk about Power of Snunner, because again, you've got to respect horses like this. She's 8 years old. She has been 1st or 2nd in 26 of 35 tries, and it really doesn't seem to matter what the distance is. She won the Obey at 1 1/8 last year. She won at 7 furlongs in her seasonal debut. She's the kind of mare that at this point in her career, you start riding her early because she doesn't have push-button acceleration. But if you get going on her early, that engine eventually starts cooking. Give her a fast pace, she'll come running with a piece.
She's pretty good. She'll come running no matter what. Even if the race doesn't set up that well for her, she'll just come running because that's what she does. It's funny, too, because when you start going through her PPs, it's obvious that she can just basically do anything. I always felt like I preferred her going a little bit shorter. But her races around 2 turns routing, they're fine. She shows up and she runs every time. She's a pretty cool horse.
In the Navy now, the number 2, Penman graduate, 15-1. Julian Pimentel takes the mount. This horse coming out of a 2-turn sprint at Charlestown where she just fell far behind. And that's, again, her running style, like several other horses in here, like Power of Snunner, like Furiously Kissed, like a couple of others, Song of Spring. Just doesn't have a lot of early speed. Thought she was moving down towards the inside on the backstretch, came to the outside with a good little run. That 7, I think, might be a little bit short for don't think Charlestown's really her kind of track, but another horse, 8 seconds from 20 starts.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you have her running style. You're trying to pass everybody in the stretch. You're going to come up short more often than not. I mean, maybe outside of Furiously Kissed, nobody has less speed than this horse. She's going to be at the back of this pack up the backstretch. And then you start, looking at her running lines. I mean, she's just really not fast enough. She doesn't have the figures that some of these other horses have to make you think that she's a huge contender in here.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Allaire DuPont Distaff. Mine is the #1 Furiously Kissed, who I am hoping will be aided by the presence of the rabbit doing her job. Javier takes them out. If you ever want to watch a race and an example of a mare looking to just get a piece in a Grade 1 stakes, that was Furiously Kissed last time out in the Apple Blossom, a race that featured Unique Bella on a wet track, where C.J. McMahon took Furiously Kissed all the way back on a fast pace, saved ground every step of the way, and were able to get third. It makes her invaluable as a broodmare prospect. Now, while that 87 buyer might be one of those harness sucked along to the 87 buyers, there's no denying this mare likes distance, and she really likes a wet track. She beat Blue Prize over a wet track at this distance last summer at Saratoga.
Yeah, all those things are true. They claimed this horse 2 starts back. They entered her right back in a Grade 1. I don't know, they pick up, what, $70,000 in a Grade 1 placing. This claim has already worked out for them, but you're right. What really helps her is distance and a wet track, and hopefully her stable might make it a fast pace for her.
Doro Danz is your pick, and she's a really nice price, 15-1. Paco Lopez takes them out. This is a mare who ran a race I thought 2 starts back at Oaklawn. It's a little underrated.
I agree with that. That's why I put her on top. I put her on top for 2 reasons. Because she's going to be a good price, and I do like her recent form since Kellen Gorder took over her train. I do think she's improved for him. And it's just one of those situations where Verve's Tail and Blue Prize, I like both of them. I don't know if I really want to bet either one of them. I don't know what their edge really is on this field, so I'll take a shot against them with a better price. This horse has improved. Her effort 2 starts back. She had a legitimate pace going on in front of her in that race. She made a big run, though, and she was way the best. I also felt like she ran really well. 3 starts back. She went way too soon in that race and got caught at the end. Her race last time at Keeneland was not bad at all. The pace wasn't nearly as fast. She was in all kinds of traffic early in that race, and she made another run before she flagged. I just think she's improved, and she'll be a good price.
And I can see a situation where she's sitting 4th, and if you really don't trust Blue Prize and Verve's Tail, she could be moving in tandem with those horses to their, to their outside. And maybe has all the momentum and gets the jump on closers like Furiously Kissed. Mike's going 8-6-7-5. I'm going 1-7-6-5 in the Grade 3 Allaire DuPont Distaff, race number 13 at Pimlico on Friday. Again, bet the Preakness with free cash. Sign up for a DRF Bets account. $100 deposit match bonus. DRF.com/bets where you need to go. An approximate post time for the Allaire DuPont Distaff, 5:57 Eastern on Friday. Good luck.